Welcome back from the commercial break. This is Family Hour. Today is a Thursday and we are looking at leadership and governance. We are looking at the vision, crafting a vision. And before the break, we looked at how important a vision is for any organization. We also looked at how, or the attributes of a vision. But we look at a situation where you have this vision and it fails. On the way, what happens? Do you drop it and rethink and create another one, or there are more options?
You always have to, like any doctor, diagnose what went wrong. Yeah, and so it says every project. When you're in the middle of the project, you're going to have a proper vision going forward. Midway the project, you're going to do what you call a check-in. At the end of the project, you're also going to do another check-in.
Okay.
So if you're checking your vision and tracking your vision and you find that it is either not achievable, that may be why you're calling it failure, it's not achievable. So you begin to diagnose the problem. Where did we get it wrong? Was it at the planning stage? Was it too...
We were so ambitious.
Exactly. It was over ambitious and unattainable. So you come back to the drawing board and you go into what you call a smart vision. Yeah. So you start to ask yourself, now you recraft what you started with. Get the learning curves. Like every place where you fail, you learn from where your failure. Get the learning points, get the things that may not be what you intended, and then sit down and ask yourself, I'm beginning afresh. And beginning afresh means understand where we failed, learn from it, and move forward. And then you'll begin to craft another vision. And then these are the questions you'll now ask yourself as a leader. Is the vision clear? Not just to you as an individual, but to the employees, even to the clients or the people that you are serving. Is the vision clear? Then you go back to the question of ambition. Is it ambitious but not unattainable? Like it has to be attainable. So it has to be ambitious, yes, but is it attainable? Is it something that we can quantify? Is it something that we can actually look at and say, we have achieved such and such a vision? The best visions are those whose objectives actually have a quantifiable process. And so you're saying customer satisfaction, what does it look like for us as an entity? And so if it looks like people giving us feedback constantly, then you begin to track feedback. If it looks like multiplying business and referrals from clients, then you begin to track how you're getting referrals. And so that's important. You are ambitious, but you're looking at where it went wrong. Did you go wrong in the objectives? Did you go wrong in the goals? Did you go wrong in the value system? The other is that, is the vision stimulating? Sometimes visions fail because they're not stimulating. Nobody thought it was nice. Everybody just thought it's too big, it's too wordy. It never got anyone's attention. And so it has to stimulate people. So you go back to crafting a vision that is stimulating, that people can relate with. Then the other is that is the vision concise. Every time, this is my methodology for everything where I'm responsible in leadership, is that one, we take time every week to pray about the vision, to pray about the values and the mission. Then in every work that we produce, at the bottom of the page, they will either be the values or the vision. So we're keeping it at the front of people's minds constantly. So it has to be concise, because when you asked, sadly I asked my leadership, one of my many groups, I asked my leadership team, what is the vision for this entity? And we had said it at the beginning of a number of the meetings. We had said it, but I realized that people were not catching it. One, because perhaps it's not stimulating, or people were disinterested. They are more focused on the day-to-day activities and leaving the fact that there is something we're all driving at. And so it has to be stimulating, it has to be concise, it has to be to the point. If it's too wordy, people are going to forget it. As human beings, we have an attention span that's quite short. For children, it's much worse. For teenagers, it's worse. For adults, and as you get older, it becomes it becomes quite difficult. So it has to be concise in such a way that you are saying, I am empowering women, I am transforming nations. I want to cultivate dignity, faith, and virtue in women. So that those are two entities that I lead. And so I make it short and concise, that even when I'm communicating it or praying about it, I know what I'm saying. I'm not pulling words out of the heart. And so it's important that you have that. Also make sure it's not abstract. It's not out of a hat. You're not pulling things out of a hat. Sometimes we make things so abstract in such a way that people don't understand how it's connected to the work that I do. You may ask the Getman or different people what the vision is, and he says, does it add to my salary? But that means it's abstract because it has to be built into his KPIs. It has to be built into every part of his JD so that he knows I am making a difference. The other is that as you look at the objectives, you need to check in. There should be a duration within which you check in. You're checking to make sure you're not sidetracked or losing sight of the vision. And I think that's important in how you rebuild when a division has failed.
There is something you talked about that sometimes people get lost with a vision in day-to-day activities. How can a leader ensure that even in the day-to-day activities, the vision is manifested?
That's a good question. First of all, the leader needs to define the vision for the people. It's one thing to have a good thing that you've plastered on the wall. It's another to have it defined for the people. Tell people what it is that you want to achieve. Yeah? Tell people this is what we want to achieve, not what I want to achieve. So you create a sense of ownership. Now, if you're beginning, and you're usually beginning, and people did not join you, in crafting your vision, ensure that you are sitting down with members of the team. If you're beginning and you have people on board, to get ownership of the vision, you need buy-in from people. And so if Edwin gives his version, I give my version, the other person gives their version, there's a sense of ownership when the vision finally comes, because you can say, that is what we wanted, that is what we want to achieve. It's different from if people join you along the way. Because if people join you along the way, you already have the vision. And you're the one with the vision. So you have a different task to sell it to the people. And selling it will happen when you begin to define it for them, inculcate it in their JDs. And also, it has to be stimulating for people. And so that stimulating in the sense that you give rewards and perks every time they meet a certain milestone of the vision. So that's why you see bonuses come. Bonuses are out of the fact that they were sales. You met the sales, you exceeded the sales. Not you met, you exceeded. When you exceeded, there's a literally room for us to give you bonus above what you have been giving. And so when you create an atmosphere where you are giving rewards for attaining certain parts of the vision, what you are doing is stimulating people towards achieving that vision. And as human beings, our makeup is in such a way that we like rewards. And knowing that about human beings, any good leader would know, reward them for every different aspect of a vision that they achieve. The other is to give different parts of the vision to different people. As they go down the managerial level, you can't do everything. You will never be able to do everything as a leader. Try as much as you want. I got up this morning, and within a span of 3 hours, I had received so many calls. Donation here, this one's going to India. Donation there, that one's going to India. Donation here, we're collecting for a group. Donation, and I had to sit back and say, I cannot solve the world's problems. I cannot solve the world's problems. And a good leader, Jesus is the answer. It's a statement I like to make. I say my face is not on the cross. And it works for me because it reminds me every time that I'm weighed down by the problems that are coming my way, that I won't solve all of them. As a leader, you need to realize you cannot solve every single problem. So for that vision to be achieved, especially if it's ambitious, delegate bits of that to different people. Give people their different parts. And it's like a machine working together. In the tires turning, in the systems twisting, you will arrive at what you want. But you're not carrying it alone. And divesting it to the different people is a very good way to ensure that you are achieving what you want.
Okay. In the same development, how can now individuals stay motivated and aligned within the vision over a time without losing a point or reaching a point and seeing it as something you're just now they'll never achieve. You're only exerting it on them.
I think you'll have to learn that it's a back and forth with every leader, especially if you're not a boss. It will always be a back and forth. An open door policy enables you understand what your people are thinking and how you can help them. If you close the door and you're only giving to them, you're going to lose them. So that back and forth, that human interaction is important. This is what beats machines, and that's perhaps what will beat AI. This is what beats machines, because when people know that they are valued, they will want to contribute towards the vision. And so a back and forth is helpful for the individual, because an individual is not interested with a boss who is constantly telling them what to do. But when a boss asks, or a leader asks for their opinion, they sometimes will come and give their opinion without it being solicited. And so when you have an open door policy that allows people to give you feedback, interact with you, have that human touch, it's important in achieving that vision. So individuals per se need to know that they are valued, their opinion matters, and that as they go about doing their business, they go about doing the company's business, they will be rewarded for it. So again, let's have an open door policy. Let their views be come to the forefront. Allow them also to take again ownership of the process. Give them the lead some days and step back. Just step back, because when they take the lead and you step back and even disappear. I saw somebody who mentors in such a way that they disappear when the person is at the forefront. They are nearby listening, but you don't know that they are there. They are just in the periphery enough to hear and give feedback after, but they know the pressure that comes with them being present. And so some of these times the leader needs to step back and allow those people to take the front and don't even be present, because people with that begin to own the process. And so it ceases to be about what the leader wants. When the buck stops with you, you begin to think of creative ways and strategies to get the vision. And so allowing them to own the process in that respect is important. And I think also rewards will you. I mean, who doesn't like a reward? I love rewards. I love rewards. I love things that come when they're unexpected, even when they're expected, when they usually come to you. There's something about a reward that motivates people to do better. Because when you set a goal for them that's achievable and you reward them for it, and even publicly reward them, not just privately, people are more motivated. In the end, motivation is really about you. It's rarely about what the leadership can do, because the leadership can only pull certain strings, and you don't consider yourself as a monkey whose hands they are pulling. Motivation will eventually start with you. The leader creates the environment, but you need to also do certain things. That will enable you achieve that vision.
Okay. There is something you said earlier that there is a school of thought you do not agree with. For example, someone setting a vision and they say, by 2026, I should have done this and this and this. At what point should someone start reflecting and evaluating their vision, the progress of their vision?
Every vision has markers of time. Yeah?
Okay.
Like every project has markers of time. There's what you call the midterm review, then there's an end-term review. And some people prefer to do quarterly reviews, because the quarterly reviews help them understand how much they are aligned to it. The best kind of visions are those that have markers on how to check in. Yeah? And so check-ins are what happen with KPIs. Because when somebody is not meeting their goals, you know by mid-year, you know by end of year. And so all those are contributing towards what you call the bigger vision. So for you as an entity, when you begin to check your vision, is after you have given it enough room. Because the beginning stage is just the learning stage. If you have employees that are just onboarding, it's just the learning stage. So you can't check a vision in a learning stage. The onboarding stage is not time to check the vision. Then there's a time where there's the stretching, and then there's a time of implementation. So at some point in time, all these different processes will give you different results. So you're probably, if you are going to say we are doing a strategic plan for 5 years, which is the normal time for 5 years, of course 2.5 years into that, you're going to start to ask yourself, how far have we gone with the strategic plan? So that's your check-in at that point. Yes, the vision is this, but how far have we gone with the strategic plan? Now, the reason I'm not sold out to a vision having an end time, and again, there are two schools of thought. I'm not sold out to it, is because you're not going to change it after 2025, 2026. It may still be the same vision. What you're really changing may be the strategic plan or the objectives or the goals. All that may be changing. Now, businesses may differ, and that's why the school of thought may differ. But it's important that you're checking with the parameters, the parameters that you've set within the strategic plan, the parameters that you've set within the KPIs, the parameters that you've set for individuals and managers, and all those have different time check-ins. But for a strategic plan, media term is a good time to check in and ask how far we're going with the strategic plan, how far we're contributing to the objectives. And so that's a good time to realign. And when you realign, you are saying, is this achievable? Is the strategic plan still achievable? Or have we not met certain things and then we need to change? So that would be my thought.
How then do you advise someone who feels lost or uncertain about their vision?
That if you're uncertain, it's because someone crafted it for you, never crafted it for yourself. Because your vision is about your ethos. It's about you. It's about the core of who you are, your essence. And so you've seen entities, or I've seen a firm, a law firm, where they sit down with people, they're different people, and then they say, what statement defines you? What statement in life defines you? Because the statement that people will give will always be their guiding light. It will be their northern star. It will be the thing that points them. It would be perhaps a saying from Maya Angelou. It will be a saying from Mahatma Gandhi. It will be a saying from Mother Teresa. It will be a saying from anyone that someone considers worth their time. And so you find that statement crafted and put on their desks. You find it in their houses. You find it on their walls. You find the statements that mean or give people guidance put somewhere. And when they speak many times, they will use that as their basis or their guiding star. And some people, perhaps it's a Bible verse. It's something that stands out for them, that gives them a guiding star. And so what you want to do if someone forgets or doesn't believe their vision is to go back to understand how it was crafted. And so when you make it as simple as possible and ask the person, what is their value system? What are the things that, even if we arrested you today, people will say, this is true about this person. Everybody knows Diana is a timekeeper. Everybody knows Diana is a person of integrity. It's even a wonder if somebody calls and offers money, and I smile and say, you actually thought I was going to take it. Do you actually think it was a possibility? When people know you for a certain thing, when a story breaks out in the paper, you will see the number of people who will come to your defense. There's a lawyer where a story broke out recently, and I know about the lawyer, but I was shocked by how many lawyers stood up in this person's defense. No, he's a man of integrity. No, he's not able to do that. Not even just the lawyers, the people who had interacted with him outside the legal field. Someone said, I did work with him before, that's not true. I was shocked by how the population stood up in this person's defense by a simple media print that had come out. It's because their value system is so well known that not even the media can throw you down. It can't even create doubt in people's minds. People are so certain. And so you need to go back to ask that person, what is your value system? What is it people truly know you by? Not what you want to be known by. I think many people get it wrong because they pick values where they say, I want to be known like this. And so someone crafts a vision based on that. But who are you essentially? Because if you've grown up, you have built a certain base where people know this person is this, and it will not differ. It won't differ in your home, it won't differ in your workplace, it won't differ in your church, it won't differ in any sphere of influence, because that is who you are, that's your ethos, that's the essence of who you are. And so you go back, and if you can find your value system, your essence, then craft a vision based on that.
Okay. Now we look at a situation. Okay, there's something we've had over time where people keep on saying vision killers of. Who are these vision killers? Or in a sense, what are the obstacles that sometimes can lead someone to lose their vision on the way?
Do you want me to name them?
No. Let us save the names.
Well, that's very funny. A vision killer is somebody who steps in your way and detracts you. Now, it's funny. You can think it's the person who's outrightly opposed to you, but sometimes it can be someone who's really friendly with you.
Yeah.
In the sense that what distracts us from the goal may not necessarily be bad. It may be good.
True.
When Peter says to Jesus, I will, you will not die. Yeah, I will do anything. And Jesus looks at the others and looks back at him and says, "Get thee behind me, Satan." It's Peter's compassion in that moment that's saying, Jesus, you cannot die. You cannot die. We have walked together. We have a plan to take over the empire. We shall be your warriors. We shall be your soldiers. That is his compassion dictating at that time what he wants. What he doesn't understand is Jesus' purpose was to die. Whether he liked it or not, Jesus came to die. That was the purpose. Now, Jesus could have sat down and said, "Oh Peter," and then spoken to him in another way, and then negotiated, and then they would have gotten into other things. But you see when Jesus says, "Get thee behind me, Satan," he's realizing that the devil is manipulating Peter's compassion for Christ and wanting him to go a different way. And so sometimes what comes to kill your vision may not necessarily be bad. It may be good. It may be compassion manipulated. It may be people getting busy with other things. So you see people who set out to go and help the needy, and then everybody bombards them with something, and they do not know when to say no, and they take it at the expense of their mental health, at the expense of their time, at the expense of their finances. Their homes are filled with people. Pastor doesn't stop at church. People come to his home. People move into his home. The girls want counseling. They move into his home. They become daughters of different things. And next thing you know, you're hearing a story. The pastor has messed up. But you see, a good thing detracted you from what you set out to do. And so what you call a vision killer sometimes is not necessarily bad. It's something that could be good, and it's overplaying on your weaknesses, on your strengths. I am very compassionate. I'm very nice. I'm doing this and that. And so you expend yourself and you detracted from the goal, which is deadly. So vision killers can come in both sides. It can be people who outrightly oppose you, which is the most obvious one. Outrightly oppose your vision. You see people standing, you're trying to make fur coats, people standing outside with placards. Animal rights, do not kill the animals. Animal rights, I am making fur coats. It is my business. Yeah, it is my vision to give everyone a fur coat. So your animal rights are none of my business. You see people trying to sell meat, vegetarian. We are selling this and that. Those are just detracting you. But it could also be a compassion or something that's different that could get you away from what you have intended to do.
What are your parting shots on crafting a vision?
A vision is the most important thing an individual will ever make. Because it's your northern star, it's the place that you want to achieve, it's the place that you want to go, it's your guidance, and it will help you achieve everything that you want to be. It will also give you an opportunity to leave a legacy where many cannot leave a legacy. The vision will help you define that legacy, and you will become a person of impact.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dan, and thank you so much to you, our viewer, and we want to thank you so much for watching, and we believe that probably you've picked out a point or two, or more than that, when it comes to crafting a vision. Without a vision, you don't have focus, because a vision creates the light into your way of progress. And thank you so much. Adrian Mukalas is my name. Tomorrow is a Friday. There is Family Hour and Parenting as an edition. You don't have to miss out on what will be discussed. Brinko, Andrew, Didmas, and the entire crew, it's a good night. We meet again tomorrow.